Yeah, testing. Round 17 catch-up game brings us to the Marconi Stadium. The Marconi Stallions who take on Rockdale Ilinden.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marconi Stadium, the Palace, for the 2024 Men's National Premier League season. Now, 17th fixture that sees Marconi Stallions FC take on Rockdale Ilinden FC. The starting lineup for Rockdale is as follows. Number 4, Roberto Speranza. Number 9, let me start again. The starting lineup for Rockdale Ilinden is as follows. Number 3, Rocky Griffith. Number 5, Giorgio Speranza. Number 6, Isaac Danzo. Number 7, Alex Urideski. Number 8, Dean Pelicano. Number 10, Brendan Talakian. Number 11, Rocky Constable. Number 14, Braden Sword. Number 20, Ricardo Rico. Number 22, Blake Rizzuto. Number 66, Matthew Coyer. Substitute start number 4, Roberto Speranza. Number 9, Leotonio. Number 15, Newcastle Mora. Number 23, Martin Elliott. Number 28, Roman Dugru. Number 77, Tom Kotako. The lineup for the Stallions, ladies and gentlemen, is as follows. Number 1, James Stopper Hilton. Number 3, Cameron Kinga. Number 4, and the power of the back, Anton Lowry. Number 6, the Slippery, the quick Dominic Costanzo. Number 7, the Classy Franco Mea. Number 9, Stopper as a rock, Daniel Bowman. Sorry, that's number 8. Number 9, James Delakowski. And our captain, number 10, Marconi Stallions. The solid Liam Ewley, number 16. Number 18, George Daniel. And number 23, Brendan Hart. Substitute start number 11, Hiroaki Oyama. Number 40, Dylan Tosovic. Number 15, Alexander Justice. Number 17, Miloslav Popovic. Number 34, Julian Mond. And number 40, Patrick Williams. Marconi Stallions acknowledges and appreciates the support of its 2024 sponsors. Brighton's Lawyers, need expert legal advice, that's what they do. Nippy, fuel up on Nippy. Peter Warren Ford, Alert Construction, Legea, and Market Football. The Football New South Wales Rugby Premier League is proudly sponsored by MIDA, the official match for the New South NPL. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the teams as they come out. Now, Marconi Stallions!
Hello everybody, Tony Tanous in commentary with you from the Palace, Marconi Stadium, for this catch-up round 17 match in the NPL Men's New South Wales, and it features 5th place Marconi Stallions. They're hosting top of the table Rockdale Ilinden. Yes, it's one of the most anticipated fixtures on the list when the draw comes out at the start of the season, and with these two teams having so much to play for at the top of the table, we're really looking forward to this. Marconi coming off a big victory in the Derby d'Italia on the weekend against Apia. Rockdale equally a big victory over Manly, and Rockdale currently sit atop the ladder by 7 points over Apia. Marconi trail Rockdale by 10 points, but they know that if they can win today, they move up to 3rd spot on the ladder. So it's a big game for both of these clubs. Rockdale with a chance to build a bigger buffer, Marconi a chance to climb a couple of positions. And it is time to take a look at the two lineups. And for the home side, Peter Tsakenis has made one change, enforced by an injury to Nathan Milgate, with Cameron Windus coming into the starting 11, which looks like this. James Hilton in goal, the back four of Brandon Vella, Cameron Windust, Anton Lenarich and George Daniel. The holding midfielders are Liam Ewley and Daniel Bowman. In the wide attacking roles, Franco Mea and Dominic Costanzo. And then it's a front two, skipper Marko Jesic And alongside him, Marconi's new signing this year in James Temelkovski. As for the competition leaders, Paul D names the same 11 that beat Manly on the weekend. So in goals, Ricardo Rizzo. The back four, Braden Sorge, Blake Rasciuto, Lachlan Griffiths, and Giorgio Speranza returning to the Palace for the first time since his move in the off-season. Midfield trio are Isaac Danso, Brendan Chalakian, and Dean Pelikanos. And then it's a front three on the flanks, Lockie Constable and Matthew Cordier. And leading the line, the competition's top scorer and one of the sharpest shooters in Australian football, in Alec Urushevsky. Sit back, relax. This is the spot to be on this cold Wednesday night. We're coming to you from the Palace, and it is the Marconi Stallions kicking us off, running from left to right. Cameron Windust, as I said, back in the starting 11 today. He came off the bench midweek in that 4-1, on the weekend rather, in that 4-1 victory over Apia. Nathan Milgate, who was replaced by Windust, having a rest today, hoping that it's nothing too serious and that he will be available for the Stallions on the weekend. They're back home on the weekend here against the Sutherland Sharks on Saturday night. So no Nathan Milgate today, but it gives Windust the opportunity in the centre of defence. And he's featured for large parts of the season out on the right side of the back four. So a good opportunity for him. I thought he was really impressive coming off the bench against Apia. So he'll be hoping to carry that on. It's a very solid display from the Stallions. It was a must-win game. It was described by them as a must-win contest. And after suffering a couple of losses to Apia earlier in the season, it was a massive victory. Here comes Braden Sorge, the competition leaders who are flying. They've got some great confidence on the back of 8 straight wins, and now they've got Alec Urushevsky, who can feed it out now to Cordier, and it's a great save. James Hilton with the first block. First important save of the match, only a couple of minutes in. Terrific counter-attack. Urushevsky unselfishly teeing up Cordier, and James Hilton, who produced 3 or 4 outstanding saves in that derby match on Sunday, has started where he left with a terrific stop. Here come Rockdale. Still alive, although they couldn't quite keep that in play. But a terrific, encouraging start for the away side. They haven't had a great record here at the Palace in recent years. In fact, we have to go back all the way to 2019 to find the last time that Rockdale have beaten the Stallions here at Marconi Stadium. They played out a thrilling 2-2 draw earlier on in the season. Back in round 2, in fact, over at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre, as Brandon Vella can't get his cross beyond Lockie Griffiths, who can look to come out now for Rockdale. The high press there from Vella. And now the clearance comes from Mlinaric. It was a terrific contest when they met earlier in the season. It finished 2-2. And that was a match really that ebbed and flowed. Dominic Costanzo giving the Stallions the lead on the road on 42 minutes, and it only took 3 minutes for Rockdale to equalise. An absolute screamer from Braden Sorge. You might remember that one. He shaped it with the outside of the right boot, and it went top corner. Marconi were able to take the lead again in the second half through James Temelkovski. Only for Alec Urushevsky to draw Rockdale level, so they finished all square. That was an absolute thriller. If we get anything like that today, It's going to be a terrific contest as Daniel Bowman looks to break from midfield, but the flag was up straight away. Marconi couldn't quite believe it. Rockdale want to play on quickly while Marconi were arguing. Assistant referee on the near side in Charbel Gaia as Temelkovski gets in behind here. A great early opportunity, and they've sprung the offside trap. And Temelkovski gives the Stallions the lead. A terrific start for the home side. They want to pick up where they left on the weekend, and they know that a win today will move them right up the table. And that was a terrific piece of finishing. He got to it first, ahead of the keeper in Rizzo. And after getting flagged for offside only moments ago, Temelkovski, who did spend a little bit of time as a junior at Rockdale, has popped up here with his 9th goal of the campaign after scoring against Apia on the weekend. He had a terrific match there, got himself a goal and an assist, and he's looking in the mood early on. It's the best start for the home side, and there he is, putting the pressure on the keeper again, and now Jesic looking to pick up the pieces. Shaky at the back early on, particularly from Ricardo Rizzo, and the Stallions are really here to play today. They come into this on 37 points, 10 behind Rockdale. They know that a win today will send them above both the Western Sydney Wanderers and Blacktown City. The Wanderers currently on 37 points, Blacktown on 38 points. So it's a big opportunity, this catch-up match, which was originally scheduled for round 17. That spectacular rainy Saturday that we had here in Sydney, where we had 3 washouts across the NPL Men's New South Wales. Wonderful bit of work to get to it ahead of Rizzo. And he kept his calm. He showed that, didn't he, on the weekend as well against Apia. If you haven't caught up on the highlights of the Derby d'Italia, make sure you check them out on our NPL New South Wales socials. Temelkovski, who showed his qualities in the 18-yard box. The calm he showed to finish. And then set up a goal as well for Franco Meyer. Real poacher's composure. It's the kind of thing you admire about those strikers who are born goal scorers. When they get in the 18-yard box, they go to work. And Temelkovski, who's had a stop-start season, you have to say, with some big hype, of course, around his move after his performances at the Metro Stars in the South Australian National Premier League in season 2023. 27 goals there. So much hype. He's put a big target on the number of goals he wanted to score. Fortunately for him, there has been a bit of a stop-start with injuries and a suspension, a long-term 4-week suspension as well. The red card that he did suffer against Blacktown City. This is a good pinch here by the former Marconi player in Giorgio Speranza. And he's going to get a free kick for that challenge from Brandon Vella. There's plenty of heat early on in this one. The temperature at kickoff around 8 degrees. It's expected to drop to about 5 degrees. Cold conditions. We're going to be down to about 1 degrees overnight here in the southwest of Sydney. So certainly very wintry conditions, but the football already heating up and the tension out there. You can feel it. Here's the resulting set piece. Rockdale's top assists man of season 2024, Chalakian. He goes direct. Hilton doesn't take any chances. Challenge there between Chalakian. Now Windus can look to clear. Sorge looking to knock it down here to Speranza. And there's a challenge. Every single challenge, you hear the appeals. I hope that's coming through the ground effects mic. Got our sportscast crew out here doing a terrific job as always, bringing you the live action, as we do with every men's top flight, every women's top flight match in the NPL, as well as a match of the round which we feature from the second tier football, New South Wales League One. So plenty of content live and free on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Forward goes Hilton's free kick. It's been a terrific start from the host. Peter Tsakinis has certainly spoken about the importance of these couple of games to try and get their season back on track after a couple of losses. They suffered losses here against Sydney Olympic. Before that, a 1-0 loss to Spirit as well on the road. It looked like their season was falling apart to a degree. They've got a free kick here. They're on the front foot early on. It's been a really positive start. Got a set piece, and they do have some tall timber. No Nathan Milgate today, but Cameron Windust has shown his aerial prowess since making the move across to the Stallions from the Central Coast Mariners. He's a real powerhouse in the air. Mlinaric is another tall physical presence. The two central defenders have come forward. Daniel Bowman and Temelkovsky attacks the near post, and it's gone all the way in. Maybe no touch at all. Costanzo's celebrating, and the Stallions go 2-0 up. This is an incredible start from the home side. Temelkovsky with the heads-up play. You sense it might have been a dummy. He made the run to the near post, and perhaps he had the smarts there to catch the keeper out. That was a heads-up play. Costanzo's delivery is generally on point. Well, he asked a question there, and Rockdale were not able to answer, and the Stallions are really picked up where they left in that derby on the weekend. 2-0 up. We're only 13 minutes in here, and Costanzo, who's now got his 5th of the campaign, we're going to credit him with that. Sure, the match officials will confirm that after post-match, but terrific free kick. Temelkovsky, you have to credit him. He made the run to the near post, and here he is, just holding up the play, the confidence of scoring against Apia. Also, that wonderful assist as well. And there's been a bit going on between the goal scorers and the travelling Rockdale fans on that far side. Here's Bowman, chance to switch it out to Costanzo. Sorge. So often we look forward to that clash. One of the top wide attacking players in the competition or the NPL scene in Dominic Costanzo, up against one of the best one-on-one defenders the National Premier League scene's ever seen in Braden Sorge. He's a terrific defender, so that battle always box office whenever these two clubs meet. And it's certainly the Stallions at the moment who are having all the fun. An incredible start. Spoken about the record between these two, and Rockdale not having won here since 2019, pre-COVID. There's another mistake that this time Mayer looks to take advantage of, and he can slide it out to Costanzo, and it's 3-0. We're not even 15 minutes in here, Another mistake is punished by the Marconi Stallions, and they are flying here at the Palace. Costanzo gets another one, and the Stallions make it 3-0. This time the assist goes to Franco Mayer, who pounced on the error from Lockie Griffiths. And this is proving to be quite the night out for the Stallions. The atmosphere here is tense, and the Stallions are delivering in a big way early on. What about the composure there from Costanzo? 3-0 up, not even 15 minutes in here. An incredible scoreline. And the Stallions, who have struggled for goals this year, suddenly they bang 4 in against Apia, and then the momentum is with them. They've got plenty of goal-scoring punch, and this will be a result early on that will send shockwaves around the NPL scene as Rockdale look to hit back through that man in Alik Urushevsky. The only good news for Rockdale is that those 3 goals have come so early. They've still got plenty of time to try and work their way back into it. And we have seen some classics over the years between these two clubs. Here's Chalakian. Hilton has already made a couple of strong saves. One to deny Cordier, and one on Chalakian free kick. This time he was aimed towards Urushevsky. Rockdale, who have gone into the draw for the Australia Cup round of 32. I will give you an update on the result of that draw for the 4 NPL New South Wales clubs. But right now, the focus for Rockdale, and I understand that the players have been banned from knowing about the outcome of that. Urushevsky's involved here. There's a bit going on in the back play. The referee, Adrian Arndt, who's an experienced official. No love lost when these two sides meet. Urushevsky did hit the ground, and Adrian Arndt is going to address a couple of players. He's going to have a chat to Brandon Velo, one of the more experienced Marconi players. Also, Dominic Costanzo's over there, and Alik Urushevsky. As I said, such an experienced official, Adrian Arndt. He's handled that well. He's given him a final warning. Players, no doubt, just trying to keep warm. And Rockdale have a corner. They aim it towards a near post, and Yuli had to be alert there. Important work. Franco Mayer, who's got himself another assist for the campaign, and that is a delightful ball. And now Jesic. He tried to play it quickly over to Costanzo. Rockdale looking all at sea early on defensively. And Rashudo comes away with it, and then there's a bit left on Rashudo. And Adrian Arndt has to settle both of these squads down. Franco Mayer thought that he might have been fouled as he tried to apply the press on Rashudo. There is so much going on. How big is this match? The importance of it. And no doubt Apia, who I understand have been training over at Lambert Park. They've also featured on the Channel 10 cameras as well as part of the Australia Cup draw. Franco Parisi and a few of his players featuring earlier on. Sense that they'll be hoping. They're 7 points behind Apia, and after Marconi did the business on them on Sunday, they might be in Marconi's camp this evening. Rockdale today with the chance to build a 10-point buffer at the top of the ladder with this catch-up game. George Daniel can't get it towards Costanzo. And now Rockdale can look to counter-attack. Nice movement of the ball through the middle. Pelicanos out here to Cordier. Quickly onto him was Vela. And there's Cordier diving in. That's going to be a free kick. Again, the referee keeps the cards in his pocket. Every time there's a loose ball, the contest is intense. Very physical. And that time, Cordier on Brandon Vela. After Vela initially dispossessed him. What a start it is. If you're just joining us, the first 15 minutes, the Marconi Stallions have come out of the blocks galloping. They are 3-0 up. A double, we believe, to Dominic Costanzo. That first one will be confirmed from the free kick. We felt that that went directly in. Temolkovsky with the first goal of the match. Looking to keep the pressure on here. Peter Tsakenis will be delighted with the response from his team after those 2 losses. He asked for a reaction against Apia. He certainly got that. That thumping 4-1 victory. They knew the stakes today. Coming in on 37 points. Victory will move them up to 40, and they've won the ball high again, and Daniel Bowman's in behind, and he makes a 4. Another error coming out of defence from Rockdale Ilinden is punished this time by Daniel Bowman. And we're just past the 20-minute mark, and the Stallions are 4-0 up. Bowman with only his 2nd goal of the season, but it is very much the way that he likes to play when he sniffs out an opportunity to press in the midfield. He goes hard, and he did exactly that there as Rizzo's clearance or pass into the midfield was intercepted, and Bowman had the class and composure to put it past Rizzo. And this is developing into quite the story here at the Palace. Marconi go 4-0 up. We're not even at the midway point of the first half. Who would have scripted this? And suddenly it's game right on as far as the top of the ladder is concerned. Rockdale have been hit hard in this first half, and Bowman now looking to flick it out to Costanzo. Making the move was George Daniel. He goes instead to Jesic. Here's the little link-up play. Temolkovsky and Jesic building the understanding. They haven't played it together as much as they would have liked this season. Jesic himself battling a few injuries early part of the campaign. This time Costanzo coming from an offside position. But what about the story here? Quite incredible. We always said there's entertainment when these two sides meet. Usually it's a pretty tight affair. 2 of the past 3 here at the Palace between these two sides have finished in high-scoring draws. Last year it was a Marconi win by 3-1. On that occasion as well, they got off to a flyer. They were up 2-0 in the first 15 minutes. So that pattern has been repeated here. What an effort that is, trying to catch Ricardo Rizzo. Heads up play. Superb effort. Why not when you're 4-0 up, and the confidence of exposing Rockdale. Here they go again with their high press. Bowman now. It's going to be another free kick from almost exactly the same spot. The Costanzo caused damage earlier on in the match. It was the 12th minute where Costanzo took a free kick from a similar spot. Which way will he go here? Lenaric has come forward again. Windust, they're both at the back post, but on that occasion, he fizzed it in towards the near post. Temolkovsky made the run, and the keeper was caught out. Pelicanos trying to Mark Temelkovsky. Jesic is also floating in there. Franco Mayer's joined the party inside the 18-yard box. Here is the free kick. And there it did get to Mayer. In fact, Mayer probably got the block on in the end because it managed to evade the Rockdale defenders. And Mayer was trying to control it and maybe take a quick shot. Can you believe this scoreline? 25 minutes in here at the Palace, and it's the home side. Marconi here lead by 4-0. Costanzo with the free kick, the corner. This one's aimed towards the back post. Windus with this great climb. And again, Rockdale are hanging on defensively. Bowman spits it back out. Every time Marconi come forward, they look a threat. Windust, we've spoken about his aerial prowess. He's a real powerhouse. They don't lose much without Nathan Milgate today. That was a great climb. And Rockdale had to scramble to keep it at 4. Here's George Daniel. Now Bowman, they've got another corner. Proactive football from the home side continues. They really got Rockdale on the back foot. Costanzo is going to take this corner. Seen the variations. We've seen him go near post. We've seen him go towards the back post. This one is over the head of Lenarich. There haven't been too many that have missed the mark. It's been that kind of first half so far from the Stallions. So frantic has the football been. We haven't really had a chance to give you an update on the draw for the Australia Cup, but we'll take you through the result for the 4 clubs, including Rockdale Ilinden. Who will be at home. They will be hosting either the Newcastle Jets or Western United. As the ball goes out now, down that left-hand side, George Daniel comes around and looks to whip this one in. And there was Franco Mayer, as well as Marko Jesic lining up again. Rockdale loose defensively. This time Griffith steps up. This is a Rockdale side that have only conceded 22 goals. They've got the best defensive record in the league. And this is quite the turnaround, quite the result. No one expected to see such a scoreline in the opening half an hour. This big catch-up around 17 match. That's a lovely turn there from Lockie Constable. Nice little nutmeg to go with it. Although the work from Costanzo in recovery, the pressure there, forcing the error in the end. So Rockdale, they've drawn a home match against an A-League club. So that's a big result for them. Northwestern Sydney Spirit. They'll be pleased. They've got a favourable draw. They'll be hopeful that they can get past Glenorrhea Knights. There's an effort from Franco Mayer. What an effort it was. He hit the crossbar, and now Jesic looking to pick up the pieces. Unbelievable, that effort from Franco Mayer, trying to catch Ricardo Rizzo out first time. And he was appealing that might have gone over the goal line. He's just chattering to the assistant on this near side and asking the question there. That would have been spectacular. Already 4-0 up, taking pot shots from all over the place, and everything seems to be coming off for the Stallions as Cordier looks to come forward. Vella has had his measure so far. Mr. Marconi, what a player he has been for this club. He was there when they were down in the second tier, and it looks like Braden Sorge on that far side, he has succumbed to an injury. We saw him down only moments ago. So it's going to be Hunter Elliott who comes on. So a like-for-like swap there. Just confirming that substitution on the half-hour mark as Brandon Vella picks up and goes forward. Another loose ball from Rockdale. Very rare to see them so sloppy with their distribution. And now Rizzo. Happy to clear long. Vereshevsky's been a spectator for large parts. Competition's top scorer. Nes Costanzo looking to go to work now on the youngster in Elliott. He does well just to stick close and get that challenge in. Hopefully for Rockdale, nothing too serious with that Braden Sorge coming off on 30 minutes. He's had a difficult evening up against Costanzo. They've been really exposed by some errors. A couple of spectacular efforts from long range as well, which could have done some more damage. One just a few moments ago from Franco Mayer hitting the crossbar, and lucky not to go over the line as well. Here come the Stallions again. They've got Brandon Vella. He's had a great start to this match. Header from Elliott. Pelicanos trying to link it up down this left-hand side with Cordier. Just those other two round of 32 clashes featuring the Football New South Wales representatives. Apia Leichhardt, they'll be away to Olympic FC. And Blacktown City, they're at home to Adelaide United. So they've a couple of NPL New South Wales sides have drawn A-League sides as Costanzo looks to go again at the Rockdale defence. Rashudo can't clear. Bowman tries to latch onto it. Chalakian working all the way back, just outside his 18-yard box. All hands on deck for Rockdale. They haven't been put under this type of pressure too often this season. Only suffered 2 losses so far in the campaign, which have come against Blacktown City and Apia. 2 teams that feature in the top 3 at the moment. They've also only had a couple of draws this campaign. Played 19, won 15. It's been quite the season so far for Paul D and his men. They're being asked a serious question this evening here at Marconi. That one a little bit too close to Rizzo. Good work from the skipper in Jesic, who's been in terrific goal scoring form. Hasn't hit the back of the net today, but his form in recent weeks. In fact, he scored 9 goals in the past 8 matches. Marko Jesic. Saw him score a double against Apia on the weekend. Only a few weeks ago, he also got a double against the Wollongong Wolves. So the damage has been done by other players in this first half. Temelkovsky, Costanzo, Daniel Bowman. Here's George Daniel, who you might have seen featured on our NPL New South Wales socials post-match on Sunday. It's nice to catch up with the youngster, the 21-year-old, who made the move across from the Central Coast Mariners, along with Cameron Windust. A couple of other young players that feature in the squad, the likes of Jacob Malbassa, Dylan Susovic, Quite a few players making the move across from Central Coast. Another one that's been out of action since round one in Lockie Bayliss. It's good to catch up with him over at Lambert Park on Sunday. He's not too far away. There was talk that he might have been out for the entire season when he had a shoulder injury in round one, but the good news is that he should be back in a couple of weeks. So Marconi, who have been battered with a lot of injuries, starting to get bodies back. Liam Yulee, who missed 12 months. Player who made the challenge there, and probably fortunate if he doesn't go into the book for that challenge on Cordier. Delighted to have him back in recent weeks, Liam Yulee. Also had to deal with some injuries to the likes of Miloslav Popovic, Hiroaki Oyama. They've been out of action recently, but they were both back on the field against Apia in that second half. Here's Chalakian looking to get Rockdale back into it. Dangerous area, and Hilton needed his reflexes there again. As the follow-up from Pelikanos goes over the goals into the grandstand. But what about the reflexes again? Don't know how much you knew about it this time, James Hilton, but he has been in sparkling form recently. Spectacular on the weekend against Apia. You might have seen a double save early in the second half feature on our NPL New South Wales socials. Well, he showed those cat-like reflexes again there. Stayed big, stayed strong. The shoulder helping him out on that occasion. And he's a place, of course, that's produced some incredible keepers over the years. This is another good pinch here. Out to Maya now. He can go one-on-one against Speranza. Maya, he makes a 5! A terrific finish there to beat Ricardo Rizzo at his near post. Another high pinch from the Stallions, and another big result for them. Franco Maya makes it 5 now for his season. He got an assist earlier on. He's been a terrific acquisition. Player who hails from the western suburbs. He did feature for Southern Districts not far up the road before a stint at St. George City last year. But he's made the move back to the west, and he's proving quite the acquisition for Peter Tsakenis and his Marconi Stallions. What a finish, emphatic, and it's 5-0. Can you believe that scoreline? 38 minutes in. And this is proving quite the night for the Stallions. The keeper in Hilton comes out again. Gets to it ahead of Cordier. Everything the Stallions do is working perfectly. And it's quite the opposite tonight for Rockdale. Speranza pressed quickly by Maya. Really done a job with their high press, forcing so many errors. This is good here though from Chalakian, who breaks the press, and now Urushevsky. He looked to tee that one up. It was Constable inside, but George Daniel, who was alert to his defensive responsibility. 5-0 up, but they won't want to let Rockdale have a sniff in this first half. What about the storyline developing here? No doubt there'll be some astute coaches around the league, maybe going to school on the tactical game planning here from Peter Tsakenis, Peter Popoithis. They've really put the pressure on with their high pressing game. They've been ruthless every chance they've had, and even some chances that they've created from long range when they probably had no right to create the chance. It's been that kind of half so far. Everything they touch is turning to gold. Another set piece, another chance to ask a question here of Rizzo and the Rockdale Regard. Windust is forward. Temelkovski's in there. And Costanzo again delivers towards Temelkovski. He got to a first two, didn't quite get the connection he would have liked. Now Urushevsky looking around for some support. Feeling quite isolated. It allows Liam Yuli in quickly. You can just see Urushevsky there. He got to that one first as it came out of defence, but there was no one there in support. That gave Yuli the chance to close him down and get the defensive effort on. Here is Griffith. Now Dunsell. Cordier, across comes Windust. We are into the final 5 minutes. If you're just joining us, it's a remarkable scoreline here at the Palace. No one could have predicted this. The Marconi Stallions leading by 5 goals to 0 over the competition leaders. A team that's built a 7-point buffer atop the ladder. And RPR, who I believe are still currently training, they're expected to finish their session at 8:30. They'll come off the pitch and they will not believe the scoreline that they are seeing. 10 rounds to go after this game. This is one of the catch-up matches from round 17. Hope you are enjoying it wherever you're watching. Tony Tanous with you, live and free on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Pleasure to have your company. Let us know your thoughts on what you've seen in the first half. The hashtag NPL NSW. There's been a flurry of games for both of these clubs in recent weeks. They've had Cups football action. They've had some midweek games last week, round 19 of the NPL New South Wales. Last Wednesday as well, so plenty of games back to back. Speaking to Peter Tsakenis, one of his key messages ahead of the match was it's the same for both sides, and a lot of it will come down to how much you want it, and certainly they have responded. The Stallions have been in rampant goal-scoring form in the first half as Daniel left this one short for Hilton. He does well. Now Hunter Elliott picks up the loose ball. He can go at Daniel. What a job he's done at left back. Perhaps when you looked at the squad build in the off-season, Franco Mayer may have been the obvious player that would have lined up at left back, but George Daniel's been doing such a great job. It's allowed Peter Tsakenis to play Mayer in a higher position. And you've seen with his goals and assist return. Gone to 6 assists for the season, to go with his 5 goals now as Yuli makes a crunching challenge. Not giving Cordier any space on this near side. Every time he's touched it, they've shut him down quick. Vela and Yuli in particular. Franco Mayer launches it forward. Temelkovski. Two-thirds of the way through the season, Temelkovski. One short of the double figures. And this is excellent now from Costanzo, who's on a hat-trick, looking to drive forward. Terrific dribble there, unlucky not to link it up in that front third again. Starting to ask questions of the youngster in Elliott now is Costanzo. Confidence up, nothing like hitting the back of the net. Has been a little while for Costanzo. Last scored back in round 15. And that 5-2 victory over the Western Sydney Wanderers. He's had a productive evening so far. Can he add an assist to his tally? Near post it goes. Wojciechowski looking to hold it up here. Onto him was Mlinaric. Another great acquisition. Marconi have certainly looked to reduce the average age of their squad with their recruitment in season 2024. Heavy challenge there. Referee waves play on. Eventually, there is another foul, and it is going to be a free kick. No advantage, so he's going to bring it back to that original free kick on George Daniel. And yet again, it's going to be Costanzo. As we do move into stoppages in this first half. Here comes the free kick from Costanzo! And he's caught the keeper out yet again! It's a hat-trick of sorts for Dominic Costanzo. 6-0 to the Stallions, and we're not even at the halfway point of the match. Costanzo's got 3, the Stallions have got 6, and this is quite the story here at the Palace. Rizzo exposed yet again. He's had a nightmare against this Marconi attack in the first half, and Costanzo's caught him out from a couple of free kicks, one to the near post that went all the way without a touch into the back of the net. This time, Ricardo Rizzo got caught underneath it. And Costanzo shaped it into the top corner. Hard to believe what we're seeing here. Rockdale will be hoping the referee puts them out of their misery and blows for half-time. Because the competition leaders have been dealt a massive blow here at the Palace. And Costanzo, whose confidence is so high at the moment, look at him go here. Even when they try to pass out of defence, Marconi players are there swarming on them, getting touches, making it difficult to get into the front third. Look at Bowman and Liam Yulee there rolling up their sleeve, putting the pressure on Pelikanos. They are a team, Rockdale, that do love to play and play through the lines. The physicality, though, of the Marconi press has been too much for them today. And here's Mayer. That's going to be another free kick. How do you summarise this? It's just been a one-team show in this first half. Marconi running rampant. A hat-trick to Dominic Costanzo. And he's got the free kick here. He's going to ask another question. And they're just tormenting Rizzo. It's been the story of the first half. The Stallions with a hat-trick to Costanzo. And goals as well from James Temelkovski, Daniel Bowman, Franco Mayer. What a performance here. A statement first half. A 6-goal first half from the Stallions. And they're going to go into the break buoyant. Rockdale, though, looks like they're gathering just before they go into the tunnel. The players themselves know how difficult that first half has been, and they're just gathering and walking off together. What a first half it's been. Make sure you join us. Stick around. 6-0 it is Marconi over Rockdale. And it is a welcome back to the Palace, this round 17 catch-up game in the NPL Men's New South Wales. And if you're just joining us, you've missed quite the remarkable first half. First half in which the home side, the Marconi Stallions, scored 6 goals. Yes, that's right. It is a 6-0 lead they take into the second half. A hat-trick from Dominic Costanzo. Goals also from Daniel Bowman, James Telmakovsky and Franco Mayer. And that's resulted in a few changes for Rockdale at half-time. They've brought on the central defender in Robbie Speranza. They've also changed the goalkeeper, youngster in Ronan Mulgrew, getting his opportunity, replacing Ricardo Rizzo, who had a very difficult first half, caught out on a few occasions by the Marconi Stallions. They've also introduced Bay Antonio. So after making one change in the first half, which was forced, Braden Sorge coming off with Hunter Elliott coming on. 3 changes at the break by Paul D. And you have to say, Rockdale, before they came off in that first half, they gathered together. They didn't stay in the dressing sheds too long. I'm sure the message was short and sharp. They were back out there at least 3 or 4 minutes before the Marconi Stallions. And they had another get-together, another huddle. No doubt the message will be, we've been super impressive in season 2024. We sit atop the ladder. Let's show in the second half what we're all about. They will have been stung by that first half. And they will want to at least make a game of it in the second half. And you wonder just how much more Marconi will give. They've done the business. They've got a 6-0 lead with that work in the first period. And they've had a flurry of games. They've got another one coming up on Saturday here against the Sutherland Sharks. And you just wonder what tempo they're going to bring to this second half. Are they going to keep the foot on the throat, keep that high press? Understand that it will be a debut as far as the NPL at least is concerned for the youngster, the young custodian in Ronan Mulgrew, who's part of the under-20 squad at Rockdale, so he gets his opportunity. He's already got a bit of work here to try and organise this set piece. And what about the productivity from Dominic Costanzo? He's got a couple from similar range. This time he puts it towards an e-post and asks a question of the young keeper, who attacks that and gets a hand to it and puts it out for a corner. There's been some news, of course, around the goalkeeping situation at Rockdale. Harrison Devenish-Mears, who I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, has signed with Sydney FC. Costanzo asking the question here, and the keeper got a hand to it, but it's been knocked in. And it's the central defender in Anton Mlinaric who adds to the misery here for Rockdale. A goal 2 minutes into the second half. And they pick up exactly where they left in that first half. Mlinaric adds his name to the score sheet. And that is his first of the campaign. He becomes the 14th scorer for the Marconi Stallions in season 2024. Mlinaric with a lovely finish inside the box after the initial save from young Mulgrew. Mlinaric makes a 7-0 to the Stallions. And Peter Giotto, the ground announcer here at the Palace, enjoying saying that scoreline. Not sure he would have expected to be saying that when he came here this afternoon, as Chalakian looks to ask a question at the other end. I was just explaining about the goalkeeping situation. Harrison Devenish-Mears has been so impressive after a stint overseas. He's earned the opportunity to step up to the A-League. That's created a bit of a headache between the sticks. Ricardo Rizzo has been given the opportunity. He's had a difficult one today. They've got Former Sydney Olympic custodian Nicholas Soros currently training with the squad. The transfer window won't be too far away. I believe that it's the end of June, not too far away, maybe just over a week. And then the opportunity to add some reinforcements during the transfer window, and I'm sure the goalkeeping situation, given where Rockdale are atop the ladder, and they still will be there at close of play today. That's lovely build-up, and now they've got Urushevsky in behind. Can he get one back here for Rockdale? What about the recovery from Windust? Credit to him. He quickly reined in the competition's top scorer, last year's Golden Boot and Player of the Year in Alek Urushevsky. They'll be keen to make sure they give Rockdale nothing. It was a lovely little build-up through the midfield. Trademark football that we've seen from Rockdale this season. One of the better moments. No doubt Paul D, Nick Stavroulakis, Vedran Giganchak will want to see more of that in the remaining minutes. They know that this one, the 3 points are gone. They want to see a bit of a reaction here in the second half. There's a bit going on there, Mladic. After giving away the free kick. Good win there in the centre of midfield. Liam Yulee getting that reward, getting his body in front of Pelikanos there. Rashudo wanted the keeper to come. He's got to take the responsibility, the senior player. That's been the story throughout the evening. The hesitation between the defence and the keeper has led to so many of the issues that they had. Just shows you how important it is to have that stability between the sticks. And that stability and connection between the keeper and the defenders. And it's slightly off today, and you see the result. It can be a brutal sport. Things are slightly off. You can get punished in a big way, and Marconi have preyed on every single mistake. Here's Bayantoni, one of the freshmen for this second half. Looking to add a little bit of an injection down that left. Not the return to Marconi that the Speranza brothers would have hoped for. It is, though, good to see Roberto getting 45 minutes. Lockie Griffiths, the central defender, who has been terrific since he made the move to Rockdale a couple of seasons ago, but today was a difficult one for him. One particular error where he coughed up the ball to Franco Mayer was punished. As Mayer played it on to Costanzo. They've been so ruthless and so clinical. But it's the effervescence of their press, whether in midfield, whether in the forward line, that's really laid the foundation. And they're in behind yet again. And this one is just wide. Inches away from making it 8-0. Hiroaki Oyama, who also looks like he's come on. Marko Jesic not prepared to risk him. With those games coming up, they've had so many in a row. 6-0 up, a great opportunity to rest your skipper. And Hiroaki Oyama, he is a top-class player. Plenty of rumours circulating around his future. There's a challenge there from George Daniel on Isaac Dansaw. The fact that he's going to go against Liam Yulee, perhaps a few too many fouls from the central midfielder. And he's gone into Adrian Arndt's book. Adrian Arndt's been happy to keep the cards in his pocket in that first half. And he's Rashudo. Windust looks early, and he looks for Costanzo again. The keeper comes out of his box. Makes a good decision, committed to that. Happy to clear. Here's Speranza Roberto. Back with his brother, back at Marconi, but in the black and red of the Rockdale Ilinden. Antonio was looking for that early release, but Mlinaric cut out the ball to Urushevsky. And he can switch it out now to Costanzo. Couldn't quite keep it in. What a night out for Costanzo. Those 3 goals taking him now to 7 for the campaign. And he started the round with being the top assist man as well for the Stallions after such a productive 2023. He's certainly backing it up now, Costanzo. Marconi will feel good about the remaining 10 rounds. They know that if they can get bodies, they have plenty of quality, goal-scoring punch. All about keeping players on the pitch for them. When you have the likes of Temelkovsky, Costanzo, Franco Maya and Jesic, you have plenty of forward punch. Daniel Bowman's shown his ability to get forward today as well. As I said, one of 3 catch-up games. The first make-up game from round 17, the 3 washed-out games. The other 2, keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales socials as well as the official fixture list. Central Coast Mariners have a catch-up home game against Apia. And Spirit FC, they're going to be up against the Sutherland Sharks. So those 2 round 17 matches still to come. They'll be midweek fixtures. So make sure you keep an eye out on those ones. Marconi, after this, will go to having played 20 games. They'll be equal now with the Wanderers and Blacktown City in terms of games played. And they will move above them. And haven't they done their goal difference a world of wonder over the past 4 days? That thumping 4-1 victory over Apia. And now 7 up. Coming into the round, equal with the Western Sydney Wanderers on 37 points, behind the Wanderers on goal difference, and then behind Blacktown by 1 point. They'll move above both of those as Daniel Bowman got into the box there. Franco Mayer was trying to tee him up, but the assistant on the far side, the experienced Cameron Wright, was right on the spot, flagging for that offside. So Apia, who will still have a game in hand on Rockdale. Apia on 40 points. I think privately they'd be delighted with this result, which keeps Rockdale within touching distance. If they can win their catch-up game against the Central Coast Mariners, they'll close the gap. There's still 10 or so rounds to go. So the premiership race could still be right on. Rockdale knew that if they got the 3 points here today, they could really build a buffer. And it would take some stopping from there. But Marconi, they had other ambitions. After back-to-back losses against Spirit FC and Sydney Olympic in rounds 18 and 19. Those 2 games where they failed to score. And one of those was a 4-0 loss here against Olympic. A result which made big headlines. So no doubt they would have been very disappointed to have conceded 4 at home against one of their fiercest rivals. They would have been keen to make a statement today and coming back home. Happy to play that forward. Gives them a chance to set up with their press again. Turning Rockdale around, forcing them to play out from the back. A tactic which proved so successful in that first period. Here is Robbie Speranza. So good to see him back from that ACL injury. He worked ever so hard. Had a couple of stints in the under-20s. He's had a couple of spells off the bench. Back in the squad today after missing out last weekend. Now Giorgio Speranza, cut out by wind dust. Constable. Looking for Temilkovsky. Good defensive work though from Rashudo. This is more like it from Rockdale. Incredible scoreline, hard to believe. They trailed by 7-0. We are going to see a couple of changes on that far side. And it will be Franco Mayer, one of those who makes way, as well as Liam Yulee.
Also coming off the field, number 16, Liam Yulee, being replaced by number 17, Miroslav Popovic.
So Popovic, you might have heard over the PA system, is one of those who comes on. And it looks like it might be Julian Monge, the young central midfielder who also comes on. So Monge replacing Yulee in the centre of midfield. And Miroslav Popovic, who comes on for Mayer, and he'll play on that right side of the four-man midfield. Peter Tsakenis does favour that 4-2-2-2 formation with the two deeper-lying midfielders, the two wide attacking midfielders. And Popovic, a former youth international. That's a strong win there in the centre of midfield from Hiroaki Oyama. Not prepared to let Rockdale back into it. And he sends it forward. Making that run was Julian Monge. Starting to get some game time in the centre of that midfield. Getting a few substitute appearances. The 18-year-old youngster. Younger brother, of course, of Fabian Monge, who made such an impression in season 2023 in the National Premier League scene. Was one of the standout players in the competition across the National Premier League scene in Australia last year. So much so that it earned him the move to the Melbourne Victory. And he's done a great job in his first year at the Victory, earning himself an extension of his contract. So it's great to catch up with Fabian over at Lambert Park on Sunday. I wish him all the best. Great to see the next batch of Monge coming through. And Julian, certainly one to keep an eye out on. Here's Lenaric. Good to see that press from both Hunter Elliott and Rashudo, although Elliott eventually gives it back up. Costanzo dancing one way and the other, inviting George Daniel forward. Nice work from the youngster. Shows his composure. One of those, the many players brought up in the A-League Academy system. Generally you see proficient technical qualities. It's Costanzo. Just joining us, Tony Tanous with you here at the Palace. It's been quite the night. We're only an hour in, and it's a remarkable scoreline. The Marconi Stallions making a massive statement here. 7-0 they lead, extending their halftime 6-0 lead with a goal from Anton Lenaric. After a couple of minutes in the second period, here he is, Lenaric. Getting his first in the league campaign, his first for the Marconi Stallions. Former Sydney FC Academy player. Spent a bit of time overseas, but he's come back And he's been really strong in the centre of midfield, playing either alongside Millgate today. No Millgate, so Cameron Windust is his partner. They might have some work to do here as Giorgio Speranza comes forward. Heavy challenge there from Pelikanos. He's got to be careful. Discipline important here for Rockdale. It's been a frustrating evening. I want a bit of pride in the second half performance. They've been so good this year. Really set the pace. As I said, only 2 losses. And it's been 8 weeks since they've tasted defeat. 8 from 8. 8 wins in a row coming into this round. So it's quite the turnaround. Their last loss coming against Apia on the road at Leichhardt Oval back in round 11. Since then, 8 wins from 8, 24 goals at an average of 3 a game. Here's Elliott, Constable. Those front third players have really struggled to get touches in the opposition half. Elliott looks to come forward, signing from Manly in the off-season. It's a good run forward, but the cross sort of sums up the night so far for Rockdale. Scuffing the ground as he tried to wrap his right foot around that. Rockdale, they've got this big one. They've also got Blacktown City coming up on the weekend, so it's a big couple of games for them. And with the scoreline as it is today and that big back to Blacktown match on Sunday, that's going to be a massive match as they look to try and rebound that one at Landon Stadium on Sunday. So get on down there if you can. If not, the Football New South Wales YouTube channel is your spot. Marconi, as I said earlier, they're back in action here against the Sutherland Sharks, who've started to pick up points. So they look to avoid the drop as Constable. Nice bit of combination play with Bay Antonio. But again, that shot summing up the evening for the visitors. Over the post, over the scoreboard, and out of the ground into the neighbouring residential area. Another big game this weekend coming up over at Nostrata. Jubilee, Cogra, Sydney Olympic, their new home. They're going to be up against Apia Leichhardt. Apia, who will look to rebound as well. They've had a full week. They'll have a full week. I know that they were over at their Lambert Park base this evening. A couple of their players featured on the Channel 10 coverage of the Australia Cup. Round of 32 draw. Here's Danzo. There's a nice thread, a great idea there. Looked like it was the man himself in Brandon Vella, and Daniel Bowman had made the run out of midfield. Gives his right back a big applause for that attempted pass. Chalakian quickly pressed by Windust. As soon as they feed that ball into the number 10, you see the Marconi central defender stepping up. It's something that they do pride themselves on, making sure that they number up. And Windust was alert to that. Here's Daniel doing the pressing. Pelikanos tries to dribble beyond it. Hunter, Elliott does well. Constable with a first-time delivery. Vella ever present. Speranza, Giorgio. And Bay Antonio couldn't find him. The frustration continues for Paul D and his side. Franco Parisi was in on the coverage, along with the likes of Rory Jordan, Sean Simmons, Anthony Sparacino. Good to see the NPL New South Wales represented. Apia have had so much success. Rockdale, they won't be thinking about that right now, but they'll be looking forward to getting back on the Australia Cup stage and hosting an A-League representative. Just repeating that they will play the winner of the playoff between the Newcastle Jets and Western United. So a couple of NPL New South Wales clubs hosting A-League clubs. Blacktown City will be hosting Adelaide United. Former Australia Cup winner. Blacktown have had so much success in Cups football over the years. Can the NPL New South Wales, as Apia, Blacktown and Sydney United have done over the years, make another big statement? Also Spirit FC, who've starting to build a real reputation as a Cups team. David Perkovic's men, who won the Waratah Cup, entering the final 32 for a second time. They're going to be up against the Glenorchy Knights. So good luck to all of our NPL New South Wales representatives, as Budashevsky was trying to sweat there on a loose ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. The keeper, James Hilton, who was a standout performance on Sunday against Apia. He'll be definitely keen. He conceded a late goal in that one to Luigi De Troia, who'll be keen to make sure he keeps a clean sheet this evening. Here's Danso turning in the midfield. Lovely little lead from Chalakian, and now Bay Antonio. He's got Chalakian inside, working back was Liam Yuli, making sure that they stay switched on defensively, although they've given this up to Antonio, and he fires that one across the face. He certainly had James Hilton interested. The keeper didn't need to make a save in the end. As we enter the final 20 minutes here at the Palace. And that's right, the scoreline. The top left corner of your screen is correct. 7-0 it is. Hard to believe what we have witnessed here. The damage done in the first half. Marconi adding to the misery early in the second half. Forward from Roberto Esperanza. Nice early feed. Been some better signs from Rockdale in the second period. They've shown their passing ability. It's these qualities that have seen them sit atop the ladder coming into this catch-up fixture. 8 wins in 8. They've been flying atop the ladder. They've had a good contingent of travelling fans, and you've got to say credit to them as the players came out. Started the second half, they gave them a massive applause, trying to really encourage them. It's been a terrific season. They finished second on the ladder last year to Apia. They wanted to go one better in season 2024. They came in as one of the favourites. Their recruitment has been excellent. Built a very strong squad. Today has not been their day. And the watch from here to see how they respond in the remaining 10 rounds is going to be fascinating. Because as far as the ladder is concerned, they still have a handy buffer at the top. They've got to show that they have the ability to bounce back from this one. And that game against Blacktown will be a terrific contest on Sunday. Here is Chalakian, whips this one in towards the near post. Bowman with the first header, only as far as Isaac Danso. Cushioned header there from Giorgio Speranza. And Julian Monge happy to clear, and it does give Marconi a chance to make 2 more substitutions. They are going to get a couple more of their youngsters on. Dylan Susovic is one of those.
Coming off at
Dominic Costanzo's done his job, and he's going to get a big applause as he comes off. Daniel Bowman, a scorer as well, but Costanzo with the hat-trick. A hat-trick, if you don't mind. A wonderful performance from Domenico Costanzo. And Daniel Bowman, he's been terrific in the centre of that midfield. So they're the two changes. Susovic on, he'll play on the left side in Costanzo's position. And Alex Juricic, great to see him back in action in recent weeks. After a long-term knee injury, he had an MCL injury that kept him out for the first half of the campaign. Talented young defender. And he's come on. Over at right back. Brandon Vella, the ever adaptable Brandon Vella's moved into the centre of midfield. So that's all 5 outfield players introduced now by Peter Tsakenis. The luxury of a 7-goal buffer. And a weekend fixture coming up in a few days here at the Palace against the Sharks. Nice run this forward from Constable. Now Pelikanos has been a great pickup as well for Rockdale this season. And here's Temilkovsky. Can he add to his tally and go to double figures for the campaign? He goes one way and the other, and the referee thinks about it, and he points to the spot. That foul by Blake Rashuda has been adjudged to have been a penalty. And Temilkovsky, who's scored one, the first of the match, to go to 9 for the campaign. And I just said he's going to be keen to try and hit the double figure mark. And he's gone to pick up the ball. Adrian Arndt, such an experienced official, had no hesitation there. He rewarded the attacker for the step-overs. He went past Rashudo, and he adjudged that Rashudo left a little bit on the striker. And it's Temilkovsky who's going to step up here and try and make it 10 for the season and make it 8 for the Stallions. He's done the work to win the penalty, and Temilkovsky is denied by the young keeper, but he follows up. And he scores his 10th of the campaign. And Marconi, can you believe this, are now 8-0 up. There's still 15 minutes remaining here at the Palace. This night goes from bad to worse for the Rockdale Ilinden side that leads the competition. But this is a statement of sorts from the Stallions. Talk about a night out. Even when the keeper makes a save, the ball falls to the striker who poaches at home. Temilkovsky goes to 10 for the campaign. This is one that Rockdale want to put behind them quick, smart. They'll know that they've got a big one coming up on Sunday against the wily, experienced Mark Crittenden, Blacktown City. They'll be sitting back, no doubt analysing this all. They'll know that Rockdale will come hard. They'll want to respond to this one. Here is Constable. And now Pelikanos. Out here through Elliott. That one's again comfortable for James Hilton. Not sure we've seen a scoreline quite like it Just when you think you've seen everything in football, along comes a match like this. So hard to really comprehend and understand how a team that's been flying 8 wins from 8. Just one of those nights. And they've got the quality to put it behind them. Marconi will take plenty of confidence. 12 goals and counting in their last 2 games. After none against Spirit and Olympic. How do you explain football? How quickly things can turn. Here's Juricic. Nice touch from Chalakian, who looks to feed Urushevsky. Can he get a consolation one and go to 21 for the campaign? Mlinaric is in no mood to give anything up. He's been in sparkling form, particularly the last couple of matches. As Marconi make another clearance, and it's Mlinaric again. Thought he was excellent also in the Australia Cup round of 7 match against Apia a couple of weeks ago, which went to extra time. Mlinaric was limping around for much of that extra time period. Still produced a top-class performance. This is nice build-up play. Windust was in sharply. Some appeals there from Rockdale. Georgia Esperanza trying to add some thrust from left back. And speaking of left backs, here's George Daniel now, looking for the switch of play. Terrific vision and delivery. Nice first touch from Miloslav Popovic. And now it's going to fall to Temolkovsky. This is where he loves to go to work. Spinning one way and the other. Now looking for link up, or will he go solo? The wily old Roberto Esperanza was onto him there. We're going to see a red card, it looks like. Paul D has been issued with a red card. And he's going to have to go into the grandstand. Frustrating evening for a player, a coach who was a legend here as a player as well. Spent plenty of time here at the Palace, did Paul D. But it's been a real frustrating evening for the experienced manager. And those frustrations have seen him being issued with a red card, so Stavroulakis will take over for the remainder of this one. Susovic just muscled off it by Chalakian. Here's Vela, still full of running. What an engine he has. What a stalwart he's been for this club. It's Chalakian. He's going to be rewarded there for using his body well. He won the free kick. Chance here again for the Stallions. Hiroaki Oyama just been happy to keep possession, hold the play up as much as possible. As I said earlier, plenty of rumours circulating around his future. The transfer window opening up soon. We've already seen a couple of NPL New South Wales players from the Western Sydney Wanderers, the likes of Nathaniel Blair, Adam Bugaria, make the move to A-League club Perth Glory. Here's Susovic. Did well there just to keep possession, although the referee was having none of that as he dived onto the ball. Giving away the free kick for a handball as Constable now looks to come forward. Trying to hold him up was Monge. Mlinaric in there quickly. He and Windust have been terrific. No Millgate, no worries as far as the defence is concerned. They've been spectacular in the way that they've shut out Urushevsky, but it's all been about the front foot defending. And now they're on the front foot here with Vela. Out to Popovic. Onto the left foot he goes, looking for the switch of play. Falls here to George Daniel. He's one of the players yet to hit the back of the net this season. They've had 14 different scorers. Daniel, who's had a very productive season so far. What a statement victory this is going to be. One that will send shockwaves around the NPL scene as the competition leaders who came into this with the best defensive record, only 22 goals conceded in their 19 fixtures. Hard to believe they've conceded 8. Speranza with the defensive header, and there is Juricic. It's that kind of night. Marconi players full of confidence. And they hit a couple from long range in the first half, and it could have been even a bigger scoreline. One of them came off the crossbar. Almost went over the line from Franco Meyer. Another one that went just past the junction of post and crossbar. This is nice work from Rockdale to get it out to the loose man in Chalakian. Now he looks to link it up with Bay Antonio, but again Windust was all over that. He makes a defensive contribution. Happy to knock that one out for a corner. So we approach the final 5 minutes of regular time. Chalakian with the corner. Juricic with the header. Here he's Dunsall. That one looked goal bound. And it was a good block. It looked like Windust who might have got something onto it. Pelikanos. Famous name in these parts, of course, his brother. Peter spent some time here at Marconi. Now, Giorgio Speranza out to that left-hand side. Here is Bay Antonio looking to whip that one in. And again, Lenaric continuing with his excellent performance. Cutting that one out, attacking that. Making sure it didn't get beyond the near post. As pleased as they will be with the 8 goals, if they keep a clean sheet. Marconi coaching staff will be delighted against this red-hot attack that is Rockdale Ilinden. And this man in particular, in Alek Urushevsky. That was a foul that time. Julian Monge just diving in. Urushevsky was so good at using his body, not allowing the youngster to get anywhere near the ball. Just shielding the ball from the youngster, and Julian Monge goes into the book. So here's a free kick. We are in the final 5 minutes, 3 minutes of regulation time remaining. Marconi will be so intent to keep a clean sheet. There's a bit going on there between Roberto Speranza, maybe a few. Bit of gamesmanship with James Hilton, of course, former mates. They were together here at Marconi last season. And that, again, sums up what a night it's been. The competition's sharpshooter couldn't get that one anywhere near the target. And this is one they'll want to put behind them, Rockdale. Quick, smart. Lovely ball, and suddenly Susovic is in behind. Can he add to the scoreline? Susovic finishes and makes it 9-0. A wonderful finish from the youngster on that left foot. He got into the box. It was a delightful little flick into his path out of midfield. And he kept his calm and composure. That makes it 2 for his campaign, Dylan Susovic. A lovely little finish across the young keeper in Mulgrew. And Marconi are approaching double figures as we approach additional time. Our assistant on the far side about to indicate we're not quite there yet. We've still got a minute of regular time, but it looks like we will get 3 additional minutes. And we're not sure if there's space on the scoreboard for double digits, but that's the way the Stallions are heading at the moment. Can they create another one? 6 in the first half. Susovic was looking to get in behind, but the flag was up on that occasion. And this is going from bad to worse for Rockdale. 6-0 at half-time. And how you explain this? They'll have to turn it around quick, smart. They've got Blacktown away on Sunday. Before they're back at home the following week against Hills United. So these 2 away games against 2 of the top 5. After losing to Apia and Blacktown earlier in the season, now Marconi have inflicted the biggest shock and the biggest scoreline of the campaign against the competition leaders. And Rockdale will have to be made of stern stuff to bounce back from this. No doubt. The belief that they've demonstrated throughout the first 20 rounds of the season. And that is the final whistle. Adrian Arndt brings an end to what has been a shock scoreline. An incredible result. One that will be talked about for months and years to come. The Marconi Stallions have beaten the competition leaders, the team that came into this way. 8 wins in a row by 9 goals to 0. Can you believe the scoreline we have witnessed here? This has been quite the story and quite the result. 6-0 it was at half-time. A hat-trick of sorts to Dominic Costanzo. And the misery continued in the second half. Mlinaric scoring after 2 minutes in the second half. And then Temukovsky adding his second before Dylan Susovic rounded out the scoring on 90 minutes. It's been a remarkable evening, a remarkable night, one we will never forget. The Marconi Stallions, 9-0 victors over Rockdale Ilinden. It's been a pleasure to have your company. This catch-up around 17 match. Tony Tanous with you here, along with the crew from Sportscast. And we've got plenty more to come. Remember, a full weekend, round 21 of the NPL men's. And we've got our NPL women's as well. Full fixture list over the weekend. So make sure you stick around. Football New South Wales, YouTube is your spot. It's been a pleasure having your company here where it's finished 9-0 to the Marconi Stallions over Rockdale Ilinden.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.